Hi, it's Jen. Over the past week, I've decided to clean and organize out my craft space, and as I was doing that, I thought maybe you would like to follow along. So instead of journaling with junk today, we're going to organize with junk. So the first thing I wanted to tackle was the tools that I used on the everyday when I craft. And I have that cube craft caddy that spins, and I love using that, and I'm going to continue using that. But the problem is I wanted something that would go right in front of my craft mat. So that way, because what was happening is everything would lie all around my craft mat, things would fall on the ground, I would lose things under my piles of stuff on my desk, and there's nothing more frustrating than not being able to find something, one of your tools that you need to use. And so I thought, you know what, this is the first thing I'm going to tackle to help me out. So I just shopped around my house. I had these things already, and I created a caddy. Now I have been using this caddy for a week, and I absolutely love it. It has been working for me. And so I'm going to share with you the containers that I'm using. These are milk glass. This is from a vintage yogurt maker, and I had got some without lids, so I thought I would use those in my caddy today. And so I gathered those, and then I used this another little milk glass container I got. It's supposed to have a lid, but I think I got it so cheap because it didn't have one. So I'm going to use that, and then I'm using a vintage drawer. Now this drawer I had got like 3 or 4 years ago, and I have never found the perfect space to use it, and so I think I have. So this is going to be the base of my caddy that I'm making. So I'm going to put these milk glass cups in my drawer, but first I'm going to stick this small container full of toothpicks. Now I do use a lot of toothpicks in my crafting, so I wanted something that I would be able to put my toothpicks in, because there's nothing more frustrating when you're trying to be really quick and easy and then you can't find anything. So those were a must-have. In these glasses, I chose to put some glue. Now I got this tip a long time ago from somebody online when they told us to store our glue upside down. That has been the best tip that I have come across, because it does make your crafting time quicker. And this glue I'm using is Aleene's Original Tacky Glue, and I use this as my all-purpose glue. Now the other glue that I wanted to try, and I got for my birthday last year, is the Aleene's Fast Grab Tacky Glue. I do like the hold of this glue. The only thing I don't like is that because it's super thick, like it says on the bottle here, it is very hard to squeeze out of the bottle. So if you have carpal tunnel or arthritis, I don't think you're going to be able to get it out, because I hurt my hands trying to get it out. And so I'm not going to purchase that again. And then another glue that I have and I use is the Elmer's Extra Strength Acid Free. And I like this one because it's for the corners, so I can get really close to the edge of the page. So I like to have this glue on hand. And what I use for this other cup is I use my smaller tools, like my bone folder, the tweezers, the paper piercer, these small scissors that I like to use for fussy cutting. And then I do put an emery board in there, because emery boards are good for going around your projects as well. And then I had some space behind the toothpicks here, and so I decided to put my stapler from American Crafts. And if you're not familiar with this, the staples that come from the stapler are mini, and they are so fun to use if you can find it. There's so many times I want to use it and I'm like, I have no idea where to put it. So this is going to get a spot in my caddy. The next things that I'm going to put in are my paper piercing mat. This is another thing that I'm always losing, and I love using it. You can use it for when you stamp images with clear stamps, and for paper piercing, of course. So I'm forever trying to look for that. So that is getting a spot. And then the next thing I'm going to do is put my ruler. And then another thing that I look for constantly is a glue eraser. Now for those that aren't familiar, if you over glue a project and it slips out, and know how it kind of makes your project look, you know, sloppy, and you can just take this and just rub it and then the glue will come right off. So I have to keep this close by me. I make so many mistakes. And then the next thing I put in there, because this drawer is metal, I took a magnet, and then this is a distressing tool. And for those that aren't familiar, you just put your piece of paper and just rub it against it. And I don't know if you can tell, but it makes the paper look old, vintagey. So I like to keep this tool close by. This one is from Close to My Heart, if you're wondering. So that is the caddy, and I have been so enjoy using it. I know where my tools are. I've enjoyed the containers that I use. It brings a smile to my face. And so I encourage you to go into your craft room, find an area that isn't working for you, whether it be for your tools or what have you, and improve upon it today. Make it work for you so you can enjoy your crafting experience. Now, before we go, I'm going to share 3 tools from this caddy that are my top favorites. And the number 1 favorite is the Tim Holtz ruler. I use this every single time I paper craft. So I cannot say enough good things about this. This is a must-have. The second thing is the Cutter Bee scissors. I really enjoy having these. My dollar store, I think it's about 2 years ago now, they sold Cutter Bee scissors, and I was able to get a few pairs, so which was a blessing. But these are a must-have, and they do come with a guard because they're so sharp and pointy. But I don't keep the guard on my scissors because I want this to be more efficient for me. So I do keep the guard in between the glasses, so that way I know exactly where it is if I decide not to keep these in there later on. And then another top thing is a bone folder. Now I know this is kind of weird to have as a top tool, but getting a good bone folder, you'll be surprised if once you use an okay one and then you get a better one, you'll see how great it smooths against the paper that you use. So these are my top 3 favorite tools that I enjoy using that are in this particular caddy. And so I hope you enjoyed seeing how I organize my tools, and I hope that you take the time to maybe organize yours. And I encourage you, go to the yard sales, go to thrift stores, and whether your style is vintage or not, find whatever suits your style so you can save something from going into a landfill. But I would appreciate if you hit subscribe, and then you won't miss any organizational videos that will be coming up in the future. And take care. Remember, organize with your junk. Take care.